Starting us off at number 10 is Myka Stauffer. The YouTuber is facing some serious heat right now that goes beyond online drama. Authorities launched an investigation into the welfare of her adopted son Huxley after she and her husband announced that they had placed him with another family. The Delaware County Sheriff's Office said the investigation is currently ongoing and that they will be doing home studies and background checks. The couple are now under fire because their son Huxley, who has autism, has always been a big part of their story. They made videos regarding the adoption process, his condition, their struggles, all of which were monetized and made significant revenue. She is receiving a ton of ridicule and has lost some very big partnerships with brands. Next up at number 9 is Joe Exotic. It's hard to really include him on this celebrity list, but the truth of the matter is he did skyrocket into fame after his documentary came out on Netflix. You have reached some level of fame when they immediately cast a movie off your documentary and hire Nicolas Cage to star as you. So he's got to be famous. But people are losing respect for him very quickly after stories came out about how much his documentary lied about details. Turns out he really did have tigers killed and even shot an innocent horse to use it as meat food at his zoo. There were a lot of sketchy details that surfaced after the documentary ended, and people are not in love with his goofy character anymore. Plus, they also didn't respect that his team is tweeting out currently about his freedom during the middle of a Black Lives Matter movement. We ain't trying to help you out of prison, alright? Sliding into number 8 is Kristen Stewart. People adored her after she took on the lead role as Bella Swan in the Twilight series. Although they thought her acting could have been better, they loved the franchise and the fact that she was dating her co-star Robert Pattinson in real life. But then the world turned against her when photos leaked online of her making out with a different man, a much older married man, might I add, who was her director in Snow White and the Huntsman. Ever since then, people have ridiculed her for being a cheater and has torn her acting apart in every movie after Twilight. Like literally, there's memes that float around the internet poking fun at how terrible of an actress she is. It's like, I feel bad, it's funny, but like, girl needs to make more than one facial expression. All I'm gonna say. Sliding into number 7 is Colleen Ballinger. You would probably know her better as Miranda Sings, the ridiculous child-friendly character she created that gave her this unexpected life in Hollywood. But she caused a ton of controversy after a 17-year-old named Adam McIntyre made a YouTube video that claimed she sent him lingerie and had him work her social media accounts but did not pay him like they agreed on. He alleged that they formed a relationship back in 2016 when he was just 13 years old and he would ghostwrite content for her Miranda Sings character. But one of his ideas was that she would come out as a Meghan Trainor fan but make it seem like she was like coming out. The LGBTQ community was livid and she issued an apology claiming that she did not approve of it. But he showed screenshots of her agreeing with the initial idea. As for the lingerie, she said it was a joke, but no one found it funny or excusable. Cruising to number 6 is Paris Hilton. She was once the big talk of the town when she became a household name for her phrase, "That's hot." She had the title of best-selling author at one time and was a highly paid actress, model, DJ, and brand ambassador. But her career started to dwindle and she blames it on her 2004 sex tape that went viral. It was called One Night in Paris. Clever. Paris claims that the sex tape was actually put out by her ex-boyfriend and was never meant to be seen by anyone. She said it has completely ruined her life, but other people would argue it was her bad acting that did not progress her resume. Well, that, and she also made some awful homophobic comments about not wanting to be gay because apparently, quote, "you will die of AIDS."
In at number 5, Lindsay Lohan. Lohan debuted in Disney's 1998 family comedy The Parent Trap, a remake of the original. She also starred in 2 Disney television movies called Life Size opposite Tyra Banks in 2000 and Get a Clue in 2002. Lohan had been arrested a number of times, including her infamous drug-fueled car chase through Santa Monica back in 2007. 3 men said an intoxicated Lindsay hijacked a car in which they were passengers, blew through red lights, and eventually ended up at the police department where she was arrested for a DUI. This was also her second DUI bust in less than 90 days. Cops also said that they found cocaine on her, and she quickly went from being the next big thing in Hollywood to one of the most hated.
We are moving on to number 4, and we have Mel Gibson. There was a time when Mel Gibson was one of Hollywood's brightest stars, but then he basically started to drown in controversy, and it all started in 2006 when he was arrested for a DUI. He blamed the DUI as having a breakdown and said that he was wasted and angry. But that was not the only thing. It's also hard to forget his fall from grace in 2010 when a series of taped phone conversations between him and his then girlfriend were released. You could hear the actor verbally attacking her with profanity, threats, and racial slurs. He even went as far as saying that he hopes she gets raped. When doing interviews about the phone meltdown, he had no problem continuing to offend people based on race, sexual orientation, gender, and immigration status. Hollywood just began to lose respect for the actor, and so did his fans. In our third spot is Lana Del Rey. The singer was under fire recently after she posted a lengthy Instagram post where she called out other female artists for being successful because they sing sexy lyrics and wear no clothes. Her words. She called out stars like Doja Cat, Ariana Grande, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Beyonce, which fans pointed out appeared to be racist. It was a long post that seemed to put down other female artists and writers, and people were quick to defend everyone mentioned in her post. She compared her music and conservative look to deserve more praise over the other females who take off their clothes and talk about sexuality. Things seemed to get so bad that Ariana Grande actually unfollowed her on Instagram, and other female celebrities publicly disagreed with her post. Taking over spot number 2 is Logan Paul. His brother Jake was on our part 2 list because he is currently in some heat, but Logan lost his YouTube career a few years ago. Logan was the first Paul brother to have his career really take off, but it all came to an end when one of his videos made news headlines for all the wrong reasons. He vlogged a trip with his friends to the famous suicide forest in Japan, but didn't do it respectfully. The forest has the title because people are known to go into the forest to commit suicide, and Logan actually came across a dead body on his visit. He caught the entire thing on camera and posted it to his YouTube channel. People were furious because of how disrespectful it was, not to mention he and his friends were all laughing in the video about what they just saw. He lost his biggest sponsorships on YouTube and had to go on TV to publicly apologize. Yeah, he ended up leaving YouTube altogether. Successful podcast nowadays, but YouTube not so much. Earning her number 1 place is Lea Michele. The Glee actress is under fire recently after accusations were made on Twitter, accusing her of making a co-star's life a living hell. Samantha Ware worked with her on Glee, and she said she made racial comments to her and said that she would spit in her wig. Lea quickly apologized and said she didn't remember making the comments, but was sorry if she hurt her. But despite the apology, the accusations just came rolling in from other actors that worked with her, saying that she was always dismissive to black actors and that they don't think it is a coincidence. Lea has yet to respond to the other accusations and has not responded to the request for comment.
In at number 10, Debby Ryan. Debby Ryan is an American actress and singer, and she started acting in professional theaters at the age of 7 and was later discovered in a nationwide search by the Disney Channel. From 2011 to 2015, Ryan starred as the title character on the Disney Channel television series called Jessie and appeared in the 2012 television film Radio Rebel. In April of 2016, Ryan was arrested for driving under the influence. Initially, she was charged with felony DUI, but it was later reduced to 2 misdemeanors. She was released after posting $100,000 bail. Apparently, she slammed her Audi into a Mercedes, and when the cops came, they gave the then 22-year-old actress a field sobriety test and promptly arrested her. Debbie did get a break though. Authorities decided, as I said, to bump it down to a misdemeanor because the injury was minor and she only blew a .11, not that much over the .08 legal limit. There was also rumors that she would bully her co-stars while on set, which didn't exactly give her a good reputation with fans of the show. In at number 9, David Henry. David Henry is an American actor and director, and he's mostly known for playing Ted Mosby's future son Luke on How I Met Your Mother and Justin Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place. He also has starred in the films Little Boy and Walt Before Mickey. While he was at the Universal City Walk back in 2010, David was detained by police for disturbing the peace. Witnesses said that the actor challenged a person to fight, but not too long after, he was later released to his father. According to Variety, though, he was arrested again in 2018. Variety confirmed with an LAX public information officer that Henry was arrested at LAX after a TSA officer went through his bag and found a firearm. Following the incident, David apologized in a statement on Twitter, saying that he unintentionally brought his gun, which he legally owns and is registered to his name, but fans, however, could no longer look at him the same way, and because of these multiple incidents with the police, his image was certainly tarnished. In at number 8, Annalise Vanderpool. Best known for her role as Chelsea Daniels in That's So Raven, Annalise went on to star in the Bratz movie the same year that Raven ended. Annalise pleaded no contest to 2 misdemeanors, driving under the influence and driving with a blood alcohol level above .08, and the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office prosecuted the case. The court offered Miss Vanderpool 36 months probation and a penalty of $2,844 in fines and assessments. Annalise posted this photo to her Facebook page saying that she was blocking out all of the negativity and hate, so you know her fans must have really been turning on her after all of these poor decisions. Plus, the first episode of Raven's Home aired at the start of 2017, so perhaps it didn't get the type of response that she was hoping for.
In spot number 7 is Shia LaBeouf. His success came from his time in the Transformers franchise, and despite having a bad reputation now, there's no denying that he can act. But his reputation started to go down south when his behavior became completely erratic and weird. In July 2017, he was arrested for disorderly conduct, obstruction, and public intoxication. But it wasn't until video footage of the actor was released that people were left in shock. TMZ released body cam footage which shows Shia cursing at one police officer, calling him different derogatory names, and saying racist comments towards another officer who was black. Since then, people lost a lot of respect for him and his career hasn't fully recovered. However, he is trying to do better nowadays. He seems to be more level-headed and sober.
In at number 6, Shia LaBeouf. Even Steven star Shia LaBeouf was loved by many, and he even received a Young Artist Award nomination in 2001 and won a Daytime Emmy Award in 2003 for the show. Although Shia LaBeouf's career would soon take a tumultuous turn. In 2017 alone, the actor was sued for $5 million by a bartender, he was arrested in Savannah, Georgia for public intoxication, and he was ordered to attend a 10-week rehab program. He was also arrested in Austin, Texas, and witnesses say that the actor was blitzed, out of control, and disobeyed the police. Shia was taken to the Travis County Jail and booked for misdemeanor public intoxication, and Shia, who's been to rehab, has also been dogged by substance abuse problems for a long time. While he has delivered some terrific performances in his latest projects, Disney fans can't stand his level of defiance.
At the halfway point is Harry Jowsey. He skyrocketed into fame with his ex-girlfriend Francesca after their Netflix series aired called Too Hot to Handle. People quickly fell in love with them as individuals, but also as a couple. They openly talked about their marriage plans on social media, so it was a shock when Francesca posted a YouTube video explaining why they broke up. In her video, she claimed that some of the cheating rumors that were going around were true, and that she could only handle so much. Enough was enough. So naturally, the world turned against him because everyone hates a cheater. But he responded with his own video saying that the rumors were not true and that he simply fell out of love with her. Let's just say, people weren't really buying that excuse. Oh, I just woke up and didn't love you anymore, you know? Just like that.
In at number 4, Adam Hicks. His first leading role was in the movie How to Eat Fried Worms, and he was also known for playing Luther in the Disney XD series called Zeke and Luther. The Disney star was arrested after allegedly committing 4 or 5 armed robberies in the San Fernando Valley. Sources say that Hicks and his girlfriend would go up to people that were walking, stick a gun in their face, and demand money, cell phones, and other items. A neighbor originally told the police that they witnessed the alleged assault, but when the police followed up, they became uncooperative. His girlfriend also refused to cooperate with the case as well. However, the cops are still saying that Hicks, who is currently starring on Hulu's Freakish, and girlfriend, who is also an actor, robbed 4 people at some point in the early morning. In a surveillance video, a man who is believed to be Hicks approaches a man walking on the street. The suspect has a gun tucked under his arm. Yeah, I don't think anyone's watching Zeke and Luther ever again after that.
Alright guys, at number 3 is Britney Spears. I don't know if it's hate as much as it is confusion. People don't even know how to feel about her these days because she's just so different from how we remember her before she shaved her head and smashed a car window with an umbrella. She was once the biggest pop star in the world for many years, until she had a mental breakdown and then just disappeared from the limelight for a while. Then, when she made her way back, she was just very different. Her voice and music is still the same, but her social media presence has everyone hella confused. She often looks dazed, she does these wild, strange dances, and she talks about how she burned her home gym down. Like literally, in a video, she just casually tells you that she burnt down her entire home gym. How does that happen?
In at number 2, Orlando Brown. That's how Raven star Orlando Brown smiled for a mugshot after a family dispute led to cops showing up at the star's apartment. Cops then checked their system and arrested him for an active warrant popping up. Best known for his role as Eddie Thomas on That's So Raven, it became evident that fans were no longer on his side when Disney reprised the show under its new name, Raven's Home. While Raven-Symoné and Annalise Vanderpool came back, Orlando was noticeably missing from the reunion. The main reason why they couldn't have him back was due to his very non-Disney-like behavior. Brown made headlines after he was arrested for public intoxication and disturbing the peace after he threatened to kill a woman. And no more fans for you. Last but certainly not least, at our number one spot, Vanessa Hudgens. Vanessa Hudgens has had some major issues with her fans after departing from her once innocent Disney image. Her fans loved her in High School Musical, but when she started doing films like Spring Breakers, it seemed like she was trying too hard to break that image. When the lockdown started happening, she got herself into some even more trouble while doing some Instagram live streams with her fans. Her fans were asking about how she felt about the quarantine, and Hudgens just said this.
I'm like, even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable? I don't know.
At that point in time, no one really had any idea when these lockdowns would be lifted, and you could clearly tell that she was annoyed by the inconvenience of needing to lock down to protect the sick and vulnerable, but this kind of selfish behavior was frowned upon by many, including whatever fans she had left.
Starting off our countdown at number 10 is Justin Bieber. Two different accounts on Twitter made allegations this past week that Bieber had raped them back in 2014 and 2015. The account to one of the accusers has been removed, but Bieber responded to the other one, saying that there is no truth to the story. The account, which belongs to a girl named Danielle, claimed the assault happened in Houston, Texas on March 9th, 2014. She said he invited her and two friends to a Four Seasons hotel and took her to a private room where the assault took place. Bieber explained that he was with his then girlfriend Selena Gomez that night and shared paparazzi photos and times which showed that he was not at a Four Seasons hotel. He even shared an Airbnb receipt which confirmed he and Selena were staying somewhere else that night. On top of that, he also shared statements from the Four Seasons hotel confirming that he was never there that night and did not have a room. Rolling into number 9 is Selena Gomez. Her story goes hand in hand with Justin's story that I just told. After he started posting all of those screenshots, people were waiting for her to speak up and confirm that his claims were true. Because if she also gave a statement on the allegations, it could prove that a serious claim like rape has no truth to it. But she didn't say anything, and she has still not responded to anything that is going on online right now. People are now going after her, saying that it is wrong for her to remain silent, especially if she can help put this to rest. Now, the two of them did not have a good breakup, but surely that is not a reason to let him get burned if it's not true. However, if it is true, it wouldn't be right for her to lie just to have his back. People are furious with her as of right now, but for legal purposes, she might have been advised to not say anything. I think we need to consider that, because I'm sure there's like some legal action happening behind the scenes right now. Up next, number 8 is Shane Dawson. The YouTuber is under fire right now after being accused for planning the Tati Westbrook and James Charles drama that happened last year. If you don't remember it, James almost lost his career after Tati Westbrook came forward with serious claims saying that he uses his fame to sexually take advantage of other people, along with a whole other list of claims against his character. Recently, people have claimed that Shane actually influenced the explosive feud and was in on it behind the scenes. He finally posted a statement about it where he denied the allegations but said that James needed some humbling at the time. James was basically crucified during this time, you guys. It was one of the harshest career-damaging scandals on YouTube. Shane posted one final statement saying that he deleted all of the other statements that I just showed you and is officially done with the beauty world. He's probably said that before.
In at number 7, Demi Lovato. First really becoming loved for her performances in Sunny with a Chance and Camp Rock, the star's image was quickly flipped after a terrible altercation. According to TMZ, she punched one of her backup dancers with a closed fist and struck her on the left side of her face. The dancer was not clean out of her seat and had to receive emergency medical attention. Lovato was immediately removed from the plane and eventually returned home. She checked herself into a treatment center shortly after. She began to try to rebuild her image, but it's pretty hard for people who loved her on Disney to just take her back after an incident like that.
Next up at number 6 is Cole Sprouse. It is a crazy time in Hollywood right now. Every day it seems like there is a new celebrity being accused of sexual assault. Cole Sprouse, along with some of his other Riverdale castmates, was one of the latest celebrities in this scandal. Allegations started circulating on Twitter that he sexually assaulted a woman at a party in 2013. One of the Twitter accounts, who goes by the name Victoria, accused him of fondling her breasts at a party in a series of tweets. Cole defended himself and responded by saying, "False accusations do tremendous damage to victims of actual assault. Furthermore, I would never seek to silence anybody. I encourage that people look into the accusations themselves, as the event's details were factually untrue." The hard thing is, people don't know what to believe because they never want to turn a blind eye in case her story is true, so they just assume and put the hatred on him. Halfway through our list, at number 5 is Trisha Paytas. She did quite the damage on her career in 2019, despite being one of the biggest YouTubers at the time. One of the biggest controversies that pretty much ruined her reputation is when she posted a video saying that she is transgender. Being transgender was not the issue, it was how she spoke about it, saying that she identifies with men better and identifies herself as a gay man because she likes guys. People did not really believe her, and it seemed more like a publicity stunt than anything. And then after that, she posted videos of her making out with Jaclyn Hill's ex-husband, and seeing as he is not gay and identifies as a man, people were even more pissed off and confused. I'm still confused about that whole thing. Cruising into number 4, we have Tana Mongeau. This is not the first time someone has called out the YouTuber for racist behavior, but she is asking for forgiveness once again. A black creator named Kaylin Berry, who worked with her on her collaboration channel Trash, exposed her in a recent video for not taking responsibility for her actions and how her behavior is harming others. During their time working together, he said that Tana had racist behavior towards him by gaslighting him, invalidating his feelings, and framing him as a, I quote, angry black person. He went as far as saying that Tana actually spread rumors to people that he had been arrested. But Kaylin was mostly upset that Tana wouldn't speak up about his video or claims and just promoted her OnlyFans account instead. But she finally responded in a series of tweets where she did apologize and said she was taking her time to learn before she responded.
In at number 3, Lelaine Vergara-Perras. Lelaine is better known for her role as Miranda Sanchez on Lizzie McGuire, and after she tried to pursue a music career, she sort of fell into obscurity. She had filmed with the show from 2001 to 2004, but by 2007, people started to find out who she really was. In July of 2007, Lelaine was arrested and charged with felony possession of methamphetamines. She also pleaded guilty to this charge, and a $50,000 bench warrant was set after she failed to appear in court for her hearing. According to Lelaine, she had some serious beef with her fellow actors, as she was the only one deemed to be too ethnic. They actually told her to look as white as possible, which undoubtedly caused some tension between her and everyone else on the show. When the Lizzie McGuire reboot was in the works, they confirmed every character returning, but Lelaine was left out of the conversation. Sadly, even though she was a big part of Lizzie McGuire, most Disney fans still can't stand her.
Taking over the number 2 spot is Jeffree Star. This has been a tough year for the beauty guru, and it is only halfway through. He's been under fire for a variety of things. He was accused of knowing about the Dabby Vanity sexual assault incidents, but did nothing about it. He was also accused of being part of the Tati Westbrook and James Charles scandal, just like Shane Dawson, and he was accused of racial behavior and comments from his past. But the most recent scandal for him has been an old website that resurfaced where he posted offensive and derogatory content. He has apologized for it and asked people to stop spreading the screenshots online, as it does not reflect who he is today. As for the James Charles incident, like Shane Dawson, he also denies having anything to do with it. But who do we trust? We don't even know them, so who really fucking knows? Sniping the number 1 place on our list is Chris D'Elia. Right now, the comedian is facing the heat hotter than anyone else on our list. It all started when a girl named Julia Holtzman revealed screenshots that she has been holding on to for years. She posted the photos and explained that Chris randomly DM'd her on Instagram, saying that he came across her page randomly. It was clear on her page that she was in high school. She actually posted 16th birthday photos and pictures from high school football games. The screenshot showed that he gave her his phone number and that he asked her to travel to New York City to visit him. Public records have confirmed the phone number is linked to him, and since then 4 other women have come forward with their own inappropriate stories against him, all of which the girls are underage. He responded to all of this by saying, "All of my relationships have been both legal and consensual, and I have never met or exchanged any inappropriate photos with the people who have tweeted about it." However, people do not believe a word that he says, and let's just say that pedophile is one of the nicer names that he's being called right now. I would hate to be him, but he does seem like a pervert.